Pray you never draw the ace. All the junkies down on K Block know about the limo that shows up at midnight. You knock on the door and the man inside offers a deck of cards. The rules are simple. A 2 gets you $200, a 3 for 3, and so on. And then with the face cards, well, that's where things get really interesting. A jack will get you the shot, and the shot is basically liquid magic. One last big high, and then the cravings are straight up gone. Like you've never shot up in your life. You're clean. Some people say the guy in the limo is from the family who invented Oxy in the first place, and that they've had the cure all along. Maybe, but junkies tell a lot of stories. A queen is even better. You get the shot plus 10 grand, enough to start over someplace new. A king is a bullet in the head. And to be honest, a lot of the guys who end up at the limo don't mind. Guys who draw a king get dumped outside the city limits, the losing card pinned neatly to the hems of their shirts. You don't want to draw the ace. Guys who draw the ace disappear for a month. Sometimes they turn up alive, but babbling like lunatics and missing every finger and toe. Sometimes they're perfectly lucid, but missing their lips and tongue. Other times they're dead, with fucked up fingernails like they'd been scratching to get out of a box for full 30 days. They say some guys who draw an ace have tried to run. Those guys end up with the worst story of all. I never thought I'd end up knocking on the limo's window, but life has a way of fucking with you. I'd had a girlfriend once, and a job at a warehouse that paid $22.50. Then I ended up lifting the wrong box the wrong way and needed some Oxy just to manage the pain and keep working. Yeah, and when my script ran out, I had to start paying to the nose for stuff on the secondhand market, and the whole time my spine kept getting worse. I went from happy and healthy to a needle in my arm in less than 6 months. I lost my girl, lost the job, and then coasted on favors and goodwill for another half a year. After that ran out, I was begging on corners, and worse, just to scrape together enough cash to stay out of pain. Now it was winter. Some kind of once-in-a-lifetime storm was hitting Philly, and my fingers were turning purple, even under 3 layers of clothes. And so I decided to find the limo. At that point, I wasn't sure if I was hoping for the king or the queen. I found the limo idling in the dry space beneath an overpass. No one else was around. Maybe people knew if you were here, it was to play cards. For a second I thought about turning back. Maybe there was still a bed at the shelter somewhere. I thought through my list of hookups, trying to conjure anyone I hadn't burned, but I came up empty. I walked to the window and knocked. The window rolled down. On the other side I saw an old man, practically a skeleton, yet his eyes looked young and sharp, appraising me. Beside him, looking out into the darkness, sat a hulk of a man in a finely tailored suit, a gun sitting in his lap. "Do you know the rules?" the old man asked, and I nodded. He took a brand new deck of cards from his pocket and unwrapped the plastic wrap with shaking hands. "You may shuffle and cut the deck, then you may draw a card. Only one." I nodded again. I tried to shuffle, but with the cold in my numb fingers, it was kind of a mess. I ended up sort of mushing the cards together a few times and almost dropped the whole stack. If I couldn't shuffle, would I lose my one shot at drawing a card? I realized and I was crying. Finally, I felt like I had done a good enough job, and I handed the deck back to the old man. He straightened the cards and then held them out to me. "Go ahead, choose." I reached forward, barely able to steady my hands, and took the top card. Then I revealed it in a weak glow of the streetlight. A king. Maybe it was what I deserved. I didn't know. But I knew in the moment that I didn't want to die. I wanted the queen. "My condolences," gesturing to his friend. Wait. This isn't what I wanted." The cards tell a different story. The Hulk opened his door on the far right and stepped out of the car. He was even larger standing up. The old man looked at me with a smirk. You know, you're actually one of the lucky ones, wistfully examining an ace in his hand. The Hulk checked his gun and began walking towards me. Okay, wait. Double or nothing. The old man held up a hand to his associate. What do you propose? He asked, interested. One more draw, but just 2 cards. The ace and the queen. The old man smiled and began to look through the deck. He selected the ace and queen of hearts and tossed the rest of the deck into the dirt. I've always loved the gamblers. With a trembling hand, I reached forward and chose my card and flipped it. And then there she was, the queen, staring up at me, her painted eyes full of mercy. I felt like I was looking down at the Virgin Mary. Winner, winner. He didn't even look disappointed. I was given my shot and the money. As soon as it hit my veins, the clarity was unreal, like the world wasn't blurry anymore. As the limo cruised off into the night, I began to run. I didn't stop until I reached the lobby of a DoubleTree where I paid cash and slipped my aching body into a hot bath. All of those cold nights in Philly, I dreamt of nothing but palm trees. I shit you not, 2 days later I was on a plane to San Diego. Life isn't perfect, of course. I've got myself a roommate situation that keeps the rent manageable, but I'm only a 10-minute walk from the beach. I've even got a new job working the counter at a surf shop. Sometimes, though, I find myself walking the streets at night, remembering old adventures and old highs. It didn't take me long to find the spots in town where the junkies frequent. To be honest, they feel more like my people than any of the new friends I've made. And the word on the street is that they've got a limo here too. Once or twice I've looked over my shoulder to see it crawling along the streets after me, and a chill runs up and down my injured spine. Because I know who I am, and I know who I've become. But I don't know who I will be in the future. And the limo is always there, cruising the streets waiting for me to knock again. You see, the one thing everyone says is that most of the people who knock on the limo's door are repeat customers. Even people like me who drew a queen. Even people who survived drawing an ace. We all eventually knock on that window. Thank you for listening to another story from the Sanguinous Compendium. If you enjoyed, give that like and subscribe button a click, and ring that bell to hear more stories daily.